Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to learn how to create staff in Zoho booking from Google Sheets rows. So you have collected all the data of the customer or the staff in your Google Sheet rows and you don't want to fill up the form again and again at your Zoho booking for creating a staff. So you can create a complete automation with the help of Pabbly Connect to ease this process. In this automation, we will integrate these two applications where our trigger will be to add new row in Google Sheet and our action will be add staff in Zoho bookings, and that will happen automatically. Let us learn how to do that. So let us begin our workflow where we are going to integrate Google Sheets and Zoho bookings in such a way that this is the sheet that I have created to collect the details of my staff in Zoho bookings. And as soon as I enter the details over here for any specific person, which means any row is added over here, then all that data will be automatically sent to my Zoho bookings, and here in my staff, that staff will be added. So let us begin and sign in with your account so that we will reach this place where I can see all the applications provided by Pabbly. And we are going to use Pabbly Connect to create this automation. Click on Access Now, and that will take me to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Click on Create Workflow given to your right side and give a suitable name to your workflow. I am going to name it as Add Staff to Zoho Bookings from Google Sheets rows. Click on Create, and then a blank workflow will be created for you like you can see on your screen. You will be able to see Trigger and Action, the two major modules of Pabbly Connect on which the complete automation runs over here. For example, the trigger will be the first application where the event will take place for the very first time, and our action will be the destination application where the action will be performed whichever is assigned. So this is going to be the trigger and this will be the result of the trigger. Make sure you open up both the applications which are supposed to be integrated. Like here we have Google Sheets and Zoho Bookings for the reason that we are going to connect it with Pabbly Connect, so it will make it easier. And secondly, you're supposed to make some required changes for the workflow. You can do it directly from here. So let us begin. Our trigger application is going to be Google Sheets because all the data will be entered over there and that is going to trigger. And as a result, the action application, which is going to be Zoho Bookings, here the action will be performed, which is adding the staff. So the Google Sheet trigger event is new or updated spreadsheet row, which means either a new row will be added or the existing row will be updated. Alright, so this will trigger it. So we have received a webhook URL that we will use to connect our Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. And further, in our action application, our Zoho Bookings is the application where the event will be to add staff. Okay, so whenever a new row is updated or a new row is created, then staff will be added over here. So let us begin. This webhook URL acts like a bridge between both the applications, which is our trigger application and the Pabbly Connect. So here, what this bridge will do is that we will copy it from here and paste it somewhere in the extensions of Google Sheets, such that whenever that event, specific event which we have mentioned over here takes place, then all that response, all that detail that is filled in the row will be brought over here as a webhook response, and that is why this is called a webhook response, because it is brought over here with the help of a webhook. These are the instructions given to you to understand how are we going to establish that integration. Copy it from here and let us begin. First of all, you have to fill in the details of an exemplary customer. So let us do that. The name of the customer is this. Now I will enter the email address, the date of birth. So to enter date of birth, I'm going to follow a specific format over here for the date. This is the format. It is date, month and year over here. The contact details, address over here, address line 2 and the gender. So I have entered the details because if we integrated these applications, then if there was nothing over here in the first row, what would be the webhook response? Now since we have entered these details, let us move ahead towards the integration. Go to extensions and go to add-ons and get add-ons. When you click on this get add-ons, it will take you to a page called Google Workspace Marketplace. Here you have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. There is an add-on Pabbly Connect Webhooks that you need to install in order to connect your Google Sheet and Pabbly Connect. Like you can see, I've already installed it, and once you do it, it will be visible to you in your extensions menu. Here, come to Pabbly Connect Webhooks and click on Initial Setup. This is the place where you will find the place to paste the webhook URL. Alright, now you have to paste the URL that you copied from your workflow and the trigger column, which is the last updated column. such that whenever this webhook URL will bring all this information, which will be the last column to bring the data from is G. Here in our case we have G, so I'm going to enter that and click on submit. The data will be saved over here. Like you can see, setup is configured. Now click on send test and it will send this first row data to our workflow. Test data sent successfully. Go back to your workflow and here see the loading is going on and we have received the response. We have all the data, the name over here, the gender, the email address, the date of birth exactly in this way because I have formatted this column over here. Okay, so that this data will be taken as it is in the text format. Contact number, address line. So we have received it. Now, if you want to make sure that every time a new row is added over here, this data has to be sent to our workflow, then you have to enable one more thing. Go back to extension, Pabbly Connect Webhooks and check mark on send on event. So the event which is provided over here, which is new or updated spreadsheet row, when this event takes place, then this data entered data or the updated data will be sent over here. Now, since we have received all the data, close this module and let us use this data to transfer it to Zoho Booking so that a staff can be added. Now, the action is already selected. Click on connect and we are connecting it with Pabbly Connect so that the data we have over here in the trigger response should be sent to Zoho Bookings. Add new connection and connect with Zoho Bookings. But first you have to select your domain according to the area where you live in the world. Now I am selecting mine and I click on connect with Zoho Bookings. Here it will automatically detect. You just have to click on accept and your work is done. It's connected. Now this application, which is Zoho Bookings, is connected to our Pabbly Connect, which means that this data that we have received from Google Sheet will be sent to this application and here or on the top a new staff will be added. Now what do we need? We need the name, email address, gender, role is not going to change because we have to add staff only. Date of birth, luckily in the same format that we gave, that is date, month and year. Phone number, designation, first of all, it's not required. And if you want to enter, then you can add one more column over here. Make sure to make that the trigger column. And then the service ID is needed. Now for the service ID, what we are going to do, read the help text. It's written over here. It's written over here, obtain the service ID from the action list services. Okay, so it will be visible in that similar way. Click on this plus button. We are doing it to similarly add the service ID in our workflow. Here we are going to again take Zoho Bookings as our application and the event this time will be list staff. Okay, so what it will do is first of all it will connect Pabbly Connect and Zoho Bookings and then we are going to choose list staff over here. So from this application or this account, all the staff information or the staff list will be brought over here. The number of staff are there and the ID as well connected. Now you do not need to go on add new connection because you are adding Zoho Bookings for the second time in the workflow. So keep it on select existing connection and save this one. Now here click on save and send test request and it will bring all the data over here. And see, we have the data. This is the data. First of all, this is the data ID. Then we have, see the first name over here and data ID 1. Okay, so these are the service ID. The service ID is actually this one. This is service ID and this is the data ID. So we are going to copy it from here and then we will paste it in this workflow at this place. Now we are going to paste this part because this is going to be a static data. The reason for this being a static data is that this service ID is not going to change. Right, this is going to be the same. So what we will do, we will keep it this one only because every time a staff will be added, it will be added in this service only. Alright, now because we have copied it, it is not going to change ever. There is no need to add one more step to your workflow and you can simply delete this step because we have copied the data from the step. Okay, now we have two steps only. Let us begin with the mapping. Mapping is basically using the data of the previous step to enter the data in your action application or action step over here. So why do we map it? Because every time a new data will arrive over here, the trigger response will change. And every time that response will change, a new data has to be entered over here. If you manually write here ABC, so this data is not going to change. But if you will take the data from the previous step, so every time new response occurs, then the new data will be updated over here. So that is called mapping. You are mapping the right path. Okay, so like in the case of name, you will enter the name over here like this. This name title, whatever name is given over here, will bring that title to this specific field. Okay, similarly, email address. So open this drop down menu and map the email address to here. Now, gender, there is an option. You are not going to open the workflow again and again. So what you do is activate the map button and erase this part. And then you can simply map the data you have entered over here. All right. Role is going to be staff. It is not going to change. Date of birth, again, if you want, then you can scroll through this response. Otherwise, you can take help from the search and map data. It will straight away take you to the value. Phone number, similarly, you will map the phone number as well. Designation, we do not have. Additional info, you can add the address over here. Okay, this, comma, this. Okay, we have it. We have filled in all the details. Designation was not given to us, and that's why we are not going to enter. And we will click on save and send test request and wait for the response. So here we have received the response which says that this is the ID, this is the email address, and the status says success, which means that our staff has been added to Zoho bookings. Let us go back to our Zoho bookings, refresh this page. And then you will see, yes, we have a staff over here with the same name. Open this one and see. Name, email address, contact number, the role is staff, the date of birth is given over here, the gender and the additional information which is the address, which means that we were able to create this staff automatically from the data that you have entered over here from this workflow. Let us close this module now. And see, this is how it looks. Now you can see that Google Sheets has an instant polling time, which means that as soon as you enter the data over here, it will be sent to this place as a staff added. So let us check this workflow in real time. All right, so let us come here and enter a new data. I've entered the name, email address. Make sure to follow the format of the date. So this is my last updated column, which is G. And as soon as I press enter after the trigger column, and that data will be sent over here, which means that this trigger column will trigger the workflow. I press enter over here. Let us go back and we will have it after we refresh this. Okay, here we have demo person. If you click on this one, see, this is the email address, this is the contact number, this is the date of birth and male, that is gender, and additional information. So this is the one we just now entered, and after refreshing it once, it has appeared in front of you. So it hardly takes 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes maybe, and the work is done, which means that this workflow is a savior. So this was the whole video. I hope this helped. Not just these applications, but you can integrate many other applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any issue regarding Pabbly, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any doubts regarding our pricing, then you can connect us through this given website. If you found this video helpful in any way, then make sure to share this with your friends and colleagues to make their life easier by creating automations. We will meet in the next video. Till then, do not forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.